Hey yogis, welcome. I'm Jill, this is Fiona, and you have found your place for fitness, movement, and wellness for everybody. Thank you for joining me today. We have a power Vinyasa flow yoga class. I've got 2 blocks and enough space around me where I can lift my leg back, extend my arms out to the side. We're going to start today's class with a little bit of breath work, and then we're going to flow through a few standing flows, some mat work, and we're going to end with a nice, calming, relaxing Shavasana. So get the things that you need and meet me at the back of the mat in a child's pose. Yeah, you're going to have to move, baby. You're going to come over here. So bring your big toes together to touch. Knees out wide, and walk your fingertips forward as you bring your forehead down to the mat. Take a nice deep inhale breath, thanking yourself for showing up on your mat today. And a powerful open mouth exhale to let go of any stress or tension from your day so far. Let's take another one of those deeper, fuller inhale, filling up until you feel like there's no space left in your body for breath. And then an open mouth exhale, exhaling any negative thoughts that you might have brought with you on your mat today. If Ujjayi breath is in your practice, you'll seal your lips closed and continue to take those powerful inhales and exhales through your nose with that slight constriction in the back of your throat, creating an oceanic, Darth Vader-like sound with your exhale. With your next inhale, imagine the breath is drawing in from your fingertips, coming down through your wrists, passing through your elbows and arriving in your shoulders. Guide your outer shoulders, armpits down towards the mat. And as you exhale, retrace that path with your breath. The breath leaves the shoulders, flows through the elbows, through the wrists, and out the fingertips. The next breath is going to be deeper as we drag that air down, past the shoulders, through the rib cage, and into the hips. And then again, the exhale breath retraces the path. Let's take another one of those deep breaths, breathing in through the fingertips. And this time focusing on the space in the back of the hips. Drawing that breath in to fill that area, creating some space. And a powerful exhale as the breath leaves the body. Let's take 2 more rounds of those breaths there. You drawing the breath into any place in your body that you feel tension. Imagine that breath creating some space there. And with the exhale, create a little bit of relaxation in those areas. On your next inhale, tent up onto your fingertips, lifting your elbows away from the mat. And as you exhale, walk your hands over to the left, maintaining that connection between your right hip and heel. Flip your right palm up so that it faces the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring the palm to your shoulder, creating an opening in the right tricep. If you need to, you could walk that right elbow out just a little bit more. You should feel a nice stretch in the back of the right upper arm. Release the palm back to the mat, and as you exhale, walk your hands all the way over to the right. Again, maintaining that connection between your left hip and heel. Forehead rests on the mat. Flip the left palm up to the ceiling, and with an exhale breath, bend the left elbow, bringing the palm to the left shoulder. Inhale length from the crown of your head to the tip of the tailbone. And exhale melts into the mat just a little bit more. Release the palm on an inhale. And as you exhale, walk your hands back to center. Giving a little press into the palms to guide the hips back even further, the shoulder blades down, back into their space on your upper back. And on an inhale breath, come up to a tabletop, stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Tuck around and curl. Inhale, cow, creating space in the front body. And exhale, cat. Draw your tailbone down to the mat, forehead towards the mat. Let's take one more round. Inhale, cow. Opening up your heart. And exhale, cat. Press the tops of your feet, shins into the mat to engage your core even more. Inhale back to neutral. Take an exhale breath, pull your belly button back towards your spine, knit the front ribs in. And inhale, extend your right arm out and your left leg back. So your right thumb is up like you're going to give someone a handshake. Find as much length as you can from those right fingertips to the heel of the left foot as you hug that right shoulder down into its socket and plug the left hip into its socket. Take an exhale breath, contract your core. Inhale, length along the spine. Holding for 3 more rounds of breath. Can you squeeze that left glute just a little bit more? Hug the outer left hip in. And exhale, return to the mat. Take an inhale breath here. And on your exhale, the left hand extends and the right foot extends. So keeping that right outer hip spiraling down towards the mat, lifting from the right inseam of the right leg up towards the ceiling as the toes point slightly in towards the midline of the body. Organizing your shoulders, finding length, but also steadiness. And exhale, return palm and knee to the mat. Take an inhale breath, maybe wag side to side. And as you exhale, tuck your toes, hover your knees, and draw your chest and belly back towards your thighs. Take another deep inhale here. And as you exhale, lift your hips up and back towards the spot where the wall and the ceiling meet behind you. Take an inhale breath as you press the mat forward and away from you. And as you exhale, pull your low belly back in and up. On an inhale breath, bend your knees, lift your heels, bring your belly back towards your thighs. And as you exhale, keep that length you just created in your upper body as you guide your heels down towards the mat. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the heels, melt the belly towards the thighs. And exhale, maintain the length. As you come into that downward facing dog, again, imagine that you're spiraling the inseam of your pants towards the wall behind you. Inhale, bend, draw into center. And exhale, downward facing dog, finding some stillness in this downward facing dog. The outer shoulders, armpits loop down towards the mat as the eye, the bend in the elbow, faces forward. Gazing back between your feet or between your knees. Inhale, bend your knees, lift your heels, and exhale, step your feet behind your hands, forward fold. Take a few breath cycles here, maybe swaying side to side, as if your lower body is in and you're finding some side-to-side movement from your belly button up. On an exhale, come back through center. Inhale, halfway lift. Palms find the shins or the fingertips find the mat as you create length from the crown of your head to the tip of your tail. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Circle, sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale, bring your palms to heart center as you take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. Inhale, fingertips to the ceiling. And exhale, fold. Uttanasana. You need to move. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, step your left foot back, low lunge. Plant your left palm underneath your left shoulder and inhale, peel open, simple twist. Exhale, pyramid variation. Palms to the block or to a mat, a block or the mat as you straighten into that right leg. Come way up on the left tippy toes. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, knee bends, peel open, simple twist. Inhale, pyramid variation. Guiding the right hip back, left hip forward. 1 more time. Exhale, lunge and twist. And inhale, pyramid variation. Exhale, low lunge. And inhale, first time here, high plank. Exhale, bend the elbows slowly lower down to the belly. Chest and hips arrive at the same time. And inhale, Cobra Pose. Open your heart, pull your palms back. Exhale, downward facing dog. And inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. And inhale, peel open. Simple twist. Exhale, palm finds the earth. Inhale, pyramid variation. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, step the left foot to meet the right. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, Tadasana, mountain pose. And exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, step the right foot back, low lunge. Inhale, simple twist, peel open. Right palm is directly underneath the right shoulder, twist from the belly button. Exhale, hands to the earth or a block, pyramid variation. Inhale, low lunge, simple twist. And exhale, pyramid variation. Bump that left hip back, right hip forward, scissoring the inner thighs. Inhale, last time, low lunge, peel it open, simple twist. And exhale, pyramid variation. The higher up you come onto those back tippy toes, the more space you have to fold into that pyramid. Inhale, back to low lunge. And exhale, step it back, high plank, slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, Cobra Pose. And maybe this time as you press the tops of your feet into the mat, you hover your palms, loop the shoulders down into their sockets and squeeze the elbows in towards one another like little cricket wings, finding a little bit of strengthening for the upper back here. Exhale, plant the palms, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts behind us. And exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale, peel open, simple twist. And exhale, pyramid variation. Inhale back to that low lunge. And exhale, step your right foot up to meet your left. Forward fold. Inhale, rise to Tadasana, mountain pose. And exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. And exhale, step back, high plank, top of a push-up. We're gonna hold here for 4 rounds of breath as we come into our first high plank hold. So squeezing your quads, hugging your butt in, and again, spiraling those inseams, the inner thighs up towards the ceiling. Pressing your finger pads, the spot where your knuckles meet your hands, into the mat to give a little relief to your wrists. Take one more inhale here, shift forward, and as you exhale, option to take chaturanga, bending the elbows, hovering above the mat, or coming into cobra. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Fiona, can you move? Speaking of dogs, come over here. Come on, you need to move. You're in the way. Come over here. Taking some slow, steady breaths in this downward facing dog. You need to move. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, tiger pose. Create that cat shape with your upper body, hollowing your belly. Inhale, 3-legged dog. And exhale, low lunge. Step the right foot next to the right hand. Surrender the left knee down to the mat. Toes can be tucked or untucked. And inhale, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Stacking your head over your shoulders, shoulders over hips. Inhale, breathe space as you lengthen up and out of your hips. And as you exhale, cactus your arms, press the fronts of your hips forward. Inhale, lengthen, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. And exhale, cactus arms. Pull the elbows down closer into the sides. Inhale, crescent lunge. And exhale, cactus. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, windmill the palms down to frame the right foot. Step the foot back, high plank. Meet us in downward facing dog or flow through your vinyasa. Inhale to your back bend. Spread the collarbones wide. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts straight back and out of the hip. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hug it into center. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, contract as you step the left foot up next to the left thumb. Surrender the right knee down to the mat. And inhale, rise, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. So pressing into the sole of that left foot to guide the left hip back. Right hip draws forward, and you should feel a really nice opening in the front of the right hip flexor. On your next inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, cactus arms, draw the elbows down to the side as your chest lifts towards the ceiling. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen and lift. And exhale, pull it all into center. Inhale, find length. And exhale, elbows into the side. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, palms to frame the left foot. Step the left foot back, high plank. Inhale your Vinyasa or downward facing dog. Exhale, elbows pin into the sides. And inhale, upward facing dog, your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we're going to move on to our Sun Salutation B. On your next inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, and as you exhale, step or float, feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, lengthen along the spine, and exhale, fold. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms up to the sky to stand, and exhale, bring your palms to heart center. Ground through your right leg. Imagine you're growing some roots through the right foot. We're going to come into tree pose, lifting the sole of the left foot either to the inner shin or the inner upper thigh, just not on the inner knee because we don't want to press out against the inner knee. So look for one focus point that's not moving, your drishti, something that you can almost look through. Keep your concentration on. That left knee peels open, the outer right hip hugs in, and then pressing the sole of the foot into the inner thigh, and the inner thigh into the sole of the foot. So depending on where you're at today, maybe you want to grow your tree. Just gently begin to extend your arms up towards the ceiling. Keeping those front ribs knitting in. I'm shaking a little bit, are you? And then exhale, palms to heart center. And then we're going to inhale one-legged Tadasana, so that left knee is bent 90 degrees. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge from our hips, pass through Warrior 3, and step the left toes back, coming into a low lunge. Inhale, rise, high lunge. And as I come into a lunge, Crescent Lunge pose, I like to bend to my back knee. And as I bend my back knee, I tuck my tailbone under. Press into the back of the left leg, maintaining the tuck in the tailbone, but lengthening through the back leg. Inhale here. Exhale, Crescent Lunge, airplane arms. Hover your belly above your thigh. And extend your arms back behind you, pinky fingers facing up, engaging the triceps. We do that 2 more times. Inhale, Crescent Lunge, press through the sole of the front foot, keeping that right glute engaged. And exhale, Crescent Lunge, airplane arms. Finding that upward facing dog cobra in your chest. Inhale, Crescent Lunge. And exhale, swim it back. Airplane arms. Inhale, Crescent Lunge. And exhale, open it up. Warrior 2. Creating that strength in the inner thighs by isometrically scrunching the mat, drawing the heels in towards one another, and then giving a press through the pinky edge of each foot to really fire up the outer thighs. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Flip the front palm, walk the back fingertips down the back leg. And exhale, legs stay exactly as they are. Extended side angle. Right elbow finds the inside of the right knee, or the right hand finds the floor or a block. Chest spirals up to the ceiling as the left ribs and the left hand draw back. Inhale back to Warrior 2. And exhale, windmill your palms. Step back, high plank, your Vinyasa, and we all meet in downward facing dog. Remember, if you come into Chaturanga, the elbows hug into the sides, bending only 90 degrees in line with the shoulders. And exhale, downward facing dog. bend the knees, lift the heels. And exhale, step or float, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, Tadasana, mountain pose. Circle, sweep the arms out, around and up. And exhale, pull it to heart center. Inhale, we're going to come into tree pose, bringing the sole of the right foot either to the inner left shin or to the inner left thigh. Pressing thigh into the sole of the foot into the thigh. My tailbone draws down, my right knee draws out to the right. Imagine those roots growing down into the ground as you press the sole of the left foot into the mat, but lift the muscles in the leg to support you. Find your drishti, your focus point. And if you're feeling it today, grow your tree. And if growing your tree seems easy and you'd like a little bit of a balance challenge, you can look up towards the ceiling. And for even more, you can close your eyes. And if you close your eyes and you fall, that's okay. You just get right back into the tree. It's just a yoga pose. On your next exhale breath, bring your palms to heart center and inhale to that one-legged Tadasana, keeping that 90-degree bend in the right knee. Hugging both outer hips in. As you exhale, hinge from your hips with a slight bend in the left knee. Passing through warrior three and coming into your low lunge as the back toes find the mat and the back heel stays lifted. Inhale, arms overhead, crescent lunge. And I'm going to take a breath here as I exhale, tuck my tail under, find length in my torso, keep that, and then straighten back into that right leg with my inhale. My exhale swims it back, airplane arms. Inhale, crescent lunge, left hip draws back, right hip draws forward. Exhale, use your core strength to hover your torso, squeeze your triceps to lift your pinkies. One more, inhale, crescent lunge. And exhale, swim it back, airplane arms. Lengthening from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head. Inhale, crescent lunge. Ooh, that front leg is feeling it. And exhale, open it up, warrior two. Stacking shoulders over hips. Finding that strength in the low body. Relaxing the shoulders and gazing lightly out over those left fingertips. Inhale, reverse warrior. Flip the left palm up to the ceiling. Walk the right fingertips down the right thigh. Exhale, core strength. Lengthen out of the side body. Extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, windmill the palms. Step back, high plank, and flow through your vinyasa. Finding this peace and stillness in downward facing dog as it becomes a resting posture of sorts in our flow. Inhale, bend your knees, lift your heels. And exhale, spring or step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, tree pose. Left foot finds the inside of the right leg. Exhale, draw the tailbone down, and inhale, grow the tree. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, low lunge as you hinge from the hips. Pass through warrior three and lightly find the ground with your back left toes. Inhale, crescent lunge. We're just gonna do our airplane flow one time here. Exhale, flow it back. Airplane arms. Inhale, crescent lunge. And exhale, open it up. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. We're gonna dance this a few more times. Inhale, core strength, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, windmill to palms. Step back to high plank. If you're looking for a challenge, you're going to hover that right leg, hover the right toes off the mat, Ekapada Chaturanga. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, pin the elbows into the side. Tops of both feet find the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog, gaze forward. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, come up onto the tippy toes, and exhale, step or float, top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, tree pose. Exhale, find your drishti. And inhale, grow your tree. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, low lunge. Hinge from the hips. Hover in the balance. Right toes find the mat. And inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, swim it back, airplane arms. Inhale, crescent lunge. And exhale, open it up. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. So really working into our obliques as we flow through this dancing warrior flow here. We're not just dumping down. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. Legs stay firm. The movement is from the belly button up. One more time. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, windmill your palms to frame the left foot. Step the left foot back, either toes to the mat or in a hover for that Ekapada Chaturanga. Inhale, shift forward on those right toes. Exhale, hug the elbows into the side. Inhale, both tops of the feet find the mat as you come into your upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. And exhale, slowly lower with control. I know your upper body is tired. Maybe maybe for a slow count of 5 as the shoulders draw back, the elbows draw back, and the entire front body meets the mat at the same time. I'm going to move back so you can see me because my partner here isn't making this very convenient. All right, we're going to come into Locust Pose. So you're going to extend your arms back just like we did in that airplane Crescent Lunge flow. You're going to loop your shoulders down and back into their sockets. Take an exhale breath to pull your belly button back towards your spine. And then inhale, lift, chest, legs off the mat. Continuing to squeeze the belly button back towards the spine like there's a little thumbtack underneath your belly, and you want to keep it from touching that thumbtack. So we're strengthening the muscles that run along our spine here, all those little supportive muscles that are part of our core that sometimes get ignored. I know you're tired, you've got this, don't give up now. Hold for one more inhale, and exhale, slowly lower. You can bring one ear to the mat. I have my right ear on the mat and gazing towards the left. Just taking a couple of breaths here. As I notice my heart beating on the mat, I can feel it. I'm thanking it for all that it does for me, for allowing me to be here on the mat today. This opportunity to move my body in this way that feels so good. All right, bring your chin back to the mat. We're going to come into bow pose. So feet no wider than hip width apart, or legs no wider than hip width apart. Begin to bend your knees, heels coming in towards the glutes, and you're going to reach your right hand back and find the outside of your right foot, and your left foot hand back to find the outside of your left foot. So this is a really deep chest opener. We've already done a lot of chest opener back bends with our cobras and upward facing dog. And again, pull your belly button back towards your spine. Keep that front core engaged. And then press your hands into your feet, feet into your hands as you hug the inner thighs in towards one another, lifting even higher. There's a tendency for the knees to splay out. We want to keep them in towards one another. And if it feels good, you can rock and roll on your belly a little bit. But also, maybe your heels are just hugged into your glutes. And that's where you're at today. And the only way that that's going to change is with consistent practice, not by force. Force hurts us. Practice helps us grow. One more inhale, lift a little bit higher. And exhale, slowly lower. Bring your left ear to the mat, and then this time, if you want, you can windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Take a little sigh. All of the hard work is done. And then come back to center with control. Release the tops of your feet to the mat. Bring your chin back to the mat, palms underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, and exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the right foot to the outside of the right hand, coming into a lizard pose. So both of my hands, my trusty assistant here is blocking your view, but both of my hands are on the inside of my right foot, and I'm hugging my right knee in towards my right shoulder. I'm going to surrender my left toes, or my left knee rather, down to the mat and untuck my left toes. So in lizard pose, I want you to think about upward facing dog, your Cobra Pose. Your chest is open and drawing forward. So if you're hunched down, you might want to walk the back knee in a little bit. And if you feel like you have some more space, you can walk the left knee back. If you want to come down to a block on your elbows, you can do so. Just remember, we're hugging that right knee in, keeping the chest open. Or you can come all the way down to your forearms, finding that really nice deep stretch in the front of the left hip and in the right hip as well. If you're down on your forearms, come back up to your palms, and we're going to come into a twist here. It's called Corkscrew. So you're going to keep your right foot on the ground and your left hand on the ground. You're going to extend your right arm out shoulder height with your thumb facing up as you kick your left heel in towards your left glute. Now follow your right thumb as you swing with control the arm back and find the outside of your left foot with your right hand. So just like in extended side angle, my chest is beginning to spiral open towards the ceiling, my left ribs spiral back, and my right ribs spiral under as I find this amazing, this is one of my favorite postures. If you do a lot of classes with me, you know you'll see this a lot. Stretch for the hip flexor and the quadricep on the left. And it's so important for anyone who, basically anyone who's alive, anyone who sits, anyone who runs, squats, cycles, drives a car. Our hip flexors, our quadriceps get so tight, our glutes get so tight. And anything we can do like this is just so awesome for it. Slowly release the foot. Bring the hands back to the mat, underneath the shoulder, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Step back, high plank, option here if you're feeling it, Vinyasa, or directly to downward facing dog. Inhale, your left leg lifts, and exhale, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand, coming into lizard. So organizing your hips. The left hip is drawing back, as the left knee hugs into the left shoulder, and the right hip is finding an isometric pull forward. My chest is forward, like someone has a string out in front of me and they're drawing my chest towards the wall in front of me. And if you'd like to take it deeper, you're going to bring your forearms down to a block or to the mat, continuing to hug that outer inner left knee, glue it to the outer left shoulder. Taking a few slow, steady breaths into your hips here. Coming back up to your forearms. Extend the left arm out like you're ready for a handshake. And then as you exhale, kick the right heel into the glute as you swim the left hand back to find the outside of the right foot. Hug the shoulder blades down and in towards one another. Think about lengthening along the side body as you twist. So like a turtle, lengthening out of its shell. And if you're feeling a little bit more open, you can guide the right heel in towards the right hip just a bit more. I'm feeling a really nice deep opening in the front of my right hip flexor, and my right quadricep. And when you feel even, on your next exhale, release. Tuck the back toes, come back into high plank. An option for one more vinyasa, because why not? Or meet us in downward facing dog. Our last downward facing dog of the class, noticing just how different you feel from that first downward facing dog. Hopefully you're feeling different physically and mentally. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit lighter, like perhaps all those things on the to-do list are just going to get done. And go ahead and walk your feet through, coming into a seat. Extend your legs long in front of you, arms out, palms up. Slowly, slowly with control, roll down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Extend your arms out like a T. Allow your hips to bump over towards the right as your knees gently fall to the left. Gaze to the right. Again, thinking about creating length along the right side body from the shoulder, down the ribs, into the hip. And exhaling, thinking about twisting your belly button up towards the ceiling. Carefully with control, come back to center, maybe rock side to side. And then this time bump the hips towards the left as the knees come out to the right in that gentle twist. And then when you feel even, coming back to center, hugging your forearms around your knees, drawing your forehead into your knees, taking the deepest, fullest inhale yet. And the loudest, longest open mouth exhale as you come into Shavasana, allowing yourself to be heavy and to melt onto your mat. I like to give a little press in the back of my head, snuggle my shoulder blades in towards one another, which is just a little nicer opening for the front of my chest and shoulders. Taking tension out of your face. Allow your tongue to be heavy in your mouth. Surrender back to the natural rhythm of your breath. And if you have the gift of time, please stay in Shavasana for as long as you can. If you're ready to move on, extend your arms long overhead, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes as you reach in opposite directions. Maybe rock your head side to side for a nice little massage. And then on an exhale breath, roll into a supported fetal position on your right side. Head resting on your bottom bicep and that top left palm resting on the earth. Go ahead and come up to sit in a cross-legged seat with your palms at heart center. Take in a nice deep inhale, breath lengthen, and as you exhale, bow your head towards your fingertips in gratitude and appreciation to yourself for showing up on your mat today, taking this time for yourself, because if you don't take time for yourself, you cannot give to others. Thank you for practicing with me. I look forward to seeing you back here next time. Have a wonderful day, and take this feeling of peace and contentment that you created on your mat and spread it around off the mat today. Namaste.